Good evening. My name is Dominique Khoury. I'm the head of business development in ATFX. And we're here to discuss a subject that we all care about as FX brokers and to see how we can contribute and solve all the issues that we might face in the next, let's say, in the next decade. You're going to notice that the title is very important. We have 6 critical factors that will redefine the financial industry in the coming 10 years. So what are the things that are going to affect us as brokers, as traders, and what should we do to prevent such stuff? Or what should we do to find solution in those stuff? So we're going to talk in details about each of those points. I'm just going to introduce them quickly. We have the new de-globalization trend. We have the systemic adoption of blockchain technology, the connectivity growth in emerging markets, rapidly rising influence of the retail flow, next generation of the big data, AI and automation, renewable energy and tech advances. So let's discuss the first point and see what are the things that are changing at the moment and we expect to change a bit more as well. So if you notice, the new deglobalization trend is something that we've been witnessing for a couple of years now. And it took some time to get implemented, starting by the Brexit, the problems that we've been seeing in ASIC or the regulation in Australia as well. So we've been seeing as well some countries just waiting to see if the Brexit model will be successful or not. If it's going to be successful, we're going to see the Big Four following, or what's left of the Big Four. So UK already went out. We're going to see Italy, Spain, and we have Italy, Spain, and basically, what was the last one? France, basically. Frexit, Italexit, and Spain getting out as well. That's something depending on what's going to happen in the and how successful UK will build the trade deals that we're going to have. We can see as well the new geopolitical axis or the trades that have been happening between new countries, which is AUKUS, Australia, UK, and the US. The submarine technology shared from the US to the rest of both parties. This is a new or a huge deal that will change, or already changed basically a lot of trade deals, and we can see Europe taking a stand on that part. We can see the new deal that happened in Nord Stream 2 as well between Russia and Germany. That is changing as well the face of deals, and we've seen Merkel talking to Biden to convince him not to put any sanctions on that. So how does that affect us as brokers at the same time? With all those new deals, we need to be able to adapt to those changes. We need to be able to adapt to the regulations or the new regulations. So, for example, in Australia, now they forbid you to onboard clients from other countries unless you exist in them and you have the license from there. It's not the same anymore. It's not like if you have ASIC, you can onboard clients from any other country like before. Restricted international investment between US and China. We've seen the trade war happening even before Trump. Trump focused on that, and we thought that Biden will take it easy on that part, but he didn't. He kept on insisting and increasing the tension there. And this is something that we need to understand to see how we can adapt in the market. So we have the restriction and on the redistribution of the money flow. So as brokers, whatever we're seeing at the moment in the region that we are operating in, we need to adapt to that and get more regulations to be able to get a bigger market share from other countries as well, and with the current limitation that we have. Now, the second point, and this is something really important, and we've seen a lot of speakers talking about blockchain technology, cryptocurrencies, and all these stuff. So systematic adoption of blockchain technology, how are we changing in that part? First of all, the regulation. We've seen that we already have a lot of countries that already regulated cryptocurrencies or the trade in cryptocurrencies, and now it's a fact. It's something that we cannot change, and we cannot just forget about it. So we need to adapt to that and start implementing those cryptos into our platforms and offer more products. As well, if you look at central bank digital currency, we've seen all central banks, with no exception, talking about the central bank digital currency. We've seen Jerome Powell mentioning that a couple of times. We've seen the EU mentioning that a couple of times. So all of these will give us an indication on what's going to happen in the next 10 years. How should we adapt to that? First of all those transactions will be much faster and with the cost of less, at least 50%. So that's something that we need to accept as payment solutions. We need to set the right deals with the right brokers as well. Effect on existing cryptos. At the moment, we have around 12,190 crypto, and the volume, we know that the volume changes, it goes up and down, but it's around 1.8 trillion. So what we think in the future or in the next 10 years, we're going to see a lot of cryptocurrencies disappearing. The same thing that is happening at the moment. Every single day we have new cryptos, new tokens, and then we have some tokens disappearing, or some of them merging, or some of them being used as a payment solution in some companies. So this is something that we need to take into consideration, because we need to focus on the right technology if we want to offer it in our platforms. Digital currency versus FX. Now, that's something that most of the brokers are really worried about and think that what's going to happen next? Should I just offer the cryptocurrency, or do I still have to offer the FX and the indices and commodities and all this stuff? We think definitely the volume or the money flow is changing, and we have new generation of investors at the same time. But it does not mean that the FX will disappear. It does not mean that the volume will disappear. Keep in mind, we're going to mention the next slide as well, the new markets that are joining this industry and where we should focus more and be able to get more volumes from. So FX will not disappear, don't worry about that. We just need to move into more technical, into fintech from the classic financial way that we're dealing with our customers at the moment. Crypto became a bit a safe haven. If you guys trade and you've seen the market, how it's acting lately, we used to have metals or gold or yen as safe haven. Now we have cryptos acting as safe haven, and the flow of money, because of extra liquidity that we have in the market, shifting to cryptos as well. So that's something that we need to have in our platform. New generation of tax-heavy traders. So these are the new traders that are pushing more market flow and that we need to benefit from as brokers. As we said, the FX flow definitely will decrease a little bit at the first phase, and then will increase again when we open with new regulations, and that's something we're going to discuss. And we need to teach our client how to diversify their portfolios, because focusing on one thing is never the right thing to do. So that's what we discussed already. Connectivity growth mostly in emerging markets. So we've seen in emerging markets the internet getting there, and we've seen a lot of investments in infrastructure that's been happening. We have 1.5 billion new online users that got introduced already. So far, we have 4.5 currently, and we're expecting 1.5 to be introduced in the next 3 to 4 years. So these are all potential leads and clients that we need to conquer, or we need to get as clients as well. We have 2 billion new unique mobile users. At the moment, we have 5.27. So imagine all of those clients or potential clients that we're getting, those weren't in our market before. They didn't used to trade the international market. Definitely they used to trade maybe the local market, but never the international market. That's something that we'll be taking advantage from. New tech projects, example, Starlink connecting a huge population as well. So we have new connections, social media playing a huge part in that. And we're going to talk about how the retail flow is affecting the market as well. So the impact on financial industry, despite the 5G, 6G, and now there is discussions on 7G as well. So despite that is coming for sure. But despite that, how is that impacting our financial industry? New opportunities for all the players, for all brokers out there. We have huge opportunities, billions of new clients that they can contribute or get. We can get as leads and accounts as well. Potential to evolve new products and services. So it's not just we're going to be getting more accounts or more leads. We need to evolve as well because there are new products that we need to offer to our clients. And this is what the clients they will care about. And this is the differentiation that we're going to see between brokers or smart brokers, let's call them. Rapidly rising influence of the retail flow. That's what I was mentioning to you in the previous slide. We cannot ignore the fact that now the retail flow has a huge impact on the market. It's not the same as 10 years before. 10 years before, we used to have the big players moving the market the way they want. If there is a certain trend, they wanted to break it, to collect all the money from the retail. We used to see that happening easily. Now, because of the new technology, the new connections that we're seeing between the retails, using Reddit, for example, or Robinhood platform, or whatever platform that they're using, we're seeing a focus of the retail flow, and that flow, and the focus of that flow going into single stocks, taking advantage of the market, giving a big hit or a hard time for the market makers, not the same as before. And that's something that we should expect more. That's why we're talking about what's going to be happening in the next decade. This is something to take into consideration and understand how to protect ourselves at the same time. So the volume is increasing on single stocks instead of the indices as it used to be the game before. It was just focusing on the global indices. Now we're focusing on the most beneficial stock or the opportunity itself, not the same as before. We have the record highs earnings from those single stocks because of the flow of money that's been pumped into them, and it wasn't really expected. And the e-commerce territory firing up. So now with the approach that our marketing guys are doing, it's a totally new era, or it's a totally new way to approach our clients. It's not the same anymore. We have smart customers nowadays, so we need to deal with them in a really delicate way and really smart way. Plus, the impact on our industry, it's gonna go into two different flows: risk management. Internal risk management, and definitely the products that we're going to be offering. We have to offer more products, and from risk management side, we need to see the herding behavior that the clients are doing and be able to protect ourselves in the capital or in the risk in case a broker has a dealing desk. So you can see from the chart the retail investor employed rising leverage. We can see that clients are using more leverage basically. If you can see it in the middle. So they're using more leverage. We can see as well the lead volume pointing to heightened real activity. So everything is increasing like in a way where any chart you look at it, you're going to notice the difference. So the next generation of big data, AI, and automation. Now, regarding that part, we already mentioned that we have 6G and we have 7G coming on the way, and new countries getting introduced to emerging markets, getting introduced to online trading as well. So economical high-speed internet services is creating an opportunity for us. Future technologies, the BCI, which is brain-computer interfacing. We have the EV, the electronic vehicles, if it's for takeoff, landing, or whatever. Even if you think about it, in our daily lives, it's not the same anymore. So when you call your bank, nowadays, most of the banks, they started adapting new technologies. You're going to call the bank. You're not going to see a receptionist or someone will answer you. You're going to see like Alexa or Eva or whatever the name that they will take or take into or adopt as a technology. And that technology will lead you to whatever you want. Some people find it frustrating, and some of them find it very useful. And eventually, if you think about it from a cost and customer experience, it's something that it will be the future. Why? Because think about it. If you have your customers calling you, and those customers, they will get redirected directly to the department that they want without interfering from a person to another, or jumping from a person to another and passing the line. That's something that is going to save a lot of time for them, and it's going to give them a better customer experience. So that's something that needs to be implemented as well. And we have to always read the reports and the things that make sense and matters for us as well. PwC made a report saying that AI is expected to contribute 14% to the country's GDP. So most of the people or most of the brokers, or even the companies are investing into AI. That's the next big thing. That's the thing that is gonna lower our costs and increase the productivity. The impacts on the financial industry is we need to recognize the system. We're going to be using more blockchain technology or cryptos, more systematic jobs rather than the norm, which is the things that I mentioned, like Eva and Alexa. So we're going to see those getting implemented a bit more cybersecurity risk, and that's one part of the risk that we mentioned before as well. We need to protect ourselves a bit more than we used to be before. Like, we know that most of the brokers, they get hacked, or the data that we have is very valuable. So we need to protect our data as well. Renewable energy technology advances. So we've seen that there's a lot of focus on renewable energy, especially in the Biden and the Biden era now, and we've seen the hike or the stocks of EV going high as crazy, definitely using the retail and the non-retail flow as well. So all type of traders are focusing on that and taking advantage of all this. So we have an increase of investment for the infrastructure, in stocks, in everything, and the renewable energy, and increase in their overall market share as well. So that's the next big thing we need to adapt as well, from the product side, or even from the way that we deal in our offices. Declining commodity demand, that's something that is going to be a reaction. Very simple. If we're going to see an increase in renewable energy, people would less trade commodities, not the same as before, and that's something that we need to expect, despite, of course, the increase of the market share that you're going to be conquering in the emerging markets as well. Government financing will take a shift as well. So basically, the shift of flow, that's the thing that we need to take into consideration, and we need to understand the most. Now, how will the market look like in 2035, or let's say in the next 10 years or so? Innovative solution to tackle de-globalization challenge, that's something that we need to have. We need to find a solution to, because the de-globalization is something that we're feeling every day by traveling from a country to another. We have more rules, more restrictions that we're seeing, more decentralization as investors are shifting into cryptocurrencies, and that decentralization needs to be implemented in the products that we have and our platforms as well. Fintech will create a new space to adopt new technologies to serve the financial market. That's for sure. Greater welfare of global economies as well. Rotation with the financial product, which is the money flow that we've been seeing, especially in 2021. If you look at the market in 2021, we're seeing a focus on certain products and jumping from a product to another, following the opportunity itself. Traders will start mobilizing electrons, completely diminishing the fossil fuels. That's related to the technology of renewable energy. So we're seeing more focus on different type of energy, or instead of fossil fuels. How are we aligned to these 6 factors? In our vision to create, we need to create the best, not just trading experience, but the client experience. So the client experience, every client should feel that we are here for them. We're here to serve them the most, with transparency, with the same old way that brokers used to do. Most of the brokers, they used to, let's not say cheat, but I mean, do their games on traders to be able to maximize their profits. Nowadays, we have smart customers. We cannot do that anymore. We should not do that anymore. Just be transparent with your clients, and this is exactly what we do in ATFX. And they know their commissions. They know if there is, we don't have any commissions, but let's say if there is any product that has swaps or commissions or whatever, or that's a certain spread, we need to let them know, and we need to give them educational tools at the same time. So our mission is to offer the best products and services, build the best technology, and provide educational tools. Why do we need to focus on educational tools? Because simply, we cannot work with clients unless they're educated enough. This is how you're going to be able to maintain that client. We don't want a client to stay with us for like only, I don't know, a month or 2 months or 3 months. That client is not going to generate a lot of volume for me. We need those clients to make money. We need them to survive. We need them to experience the bright side of the market instead of working on the dark side and having the experience of all the losses that most of their friends did and other brokers. So this is something that we really focus on. Using our AT Premier research portal, you can check it out and you'll see all the tools that we have. With our products and services, we're adhering to transparency and accessibility. When we say accessibility, that means we need to have access to our prices all over the world, or the platforms from any device, no matter what type it is. Not the same way as some companies are competing at the moment, and we're saying if you go to a certain country, you cannot access your server anymore or whatever. So we need to adapt to that, and that's something that we already have. With our new technology intelligent platform, we are using AI and big data tools to serve our clients better. Why do we say we are using AIs? Because we need to analyze what does the client need. When the client goes to your website and surfs from a page to another, we need to see where's the focus. What is he looking at? What are the things that we need? Excuse me. So what are the things that we need or that the client needs, basically? We need to focus on that and enhance his experience in that part. This is all basically. If you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer you, and we'd be more than happy to see you in our booth, ATFX booth, the best booth out there. Okay, so thank you.